This show is supported by Odoo. When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
Welcome to Unlike-Minded, a sci-fi audio anthology.
The Quiet Ones by Robbie Hyne. I was there, and then I wasn't. Light, a brightest white flooding my watering eyes, blooming, consuming, a burning cold seeping in through every pore, radiating through every nerve, every fiber of being, skin prickling like frost and fire all at once, till it is all that exists. Vibration, an eerie hum folding in on itself, pulsing like a racing heartbeat, growing louder, overpowering everything of the forest before it. The owls, the crickets, even the breeze. All gone, all taken, replaced by this soundtrack of great horror to come. Weightlessness, suspension, a dangling marionette being pulled slowly upward by invisible strings. Each second stretching, breaking, repeating, like I'm reliving the moment over and over, or else being torn from time and reality itself, suffocating on sight and sound and sensation, until I'm frozen midair, caught like a fish on a hook, waiting, helpless, alone, then accepted into the sky. But the sky is gone too. Then, so is the light. What remains lingers only as residue, a flicker behind my eyelids, speckled and blotched. The prickling on my skin softens to a tingle. The hum drains into a distant ringing, so faint I wonder how far I've already been taken. I blink. I look. Really look. But the darkness doesn't change. It is complete and unrelenting. I wonder if it's real or some terrible illusion meant to keep me lost, docile, calm. I know I'm moving, though the weightlessness remains. My stomach lurches. A subtle pressure builds and shifts inside me, the way it does in an elevator. Only, there's no up, no down. Just displacement. Moments of it. Stretches. Insides tilting one way, then another. As though my body knows the direction, process, even when the world refuses to show me. I am guided, carefully, methodically, slowly, like I'm delicate, liable to break at any moment. Maybe I could. Maybe I already am. Streaks of soft light cut through the blackness that consumes my world, blurry and distant, even if they must be just right there, whatever they are. I count them. 1, 2, 3. It's at the 34th streak that everything stops. A moment. Several. I can't be sure. Then something like a held breath releases. A door, maybe, sliding open with a low, sweeping whoosh. A rush of air brushes my numb skin like 1,000 little whiskers. Come and gone, escaping into the long, winding distance from which I came. I want to follow it, to get up and run. I wonder what it's escaping from, and whether I'll ever be so lucky. I'm moving again, back into light. This light is different, less complete, less consuming, but all the more real, all the more terrifying. Because in its fractures, it hints at structure, intention, scale. I'm laid out on some kind of slab, naked, sprawled, ripe for dissection. The surface beneath me is jagged and cold, a severe iciness that should make me jolt, flinch, curl in on myself. But I don't. I can't. I try to move. A finger, a toe, anything. Nothing answers. My body is its own tomb. Panic wants to arise. It reaches my throat and dies there. Even fear can't get out. Sensation comes only in fragments. Tiny punctures in my skin along the veins. Something being drawn out or something else forced in. Maybe both. Then come soft, warm touches. Softer, warmer currents move beneath it. Nodes, maybe. Then other things I can't quite name, followed by a slow spreading of heat, a tightening in my ribs, tremors through every limb, every muscle, pressure behind my eyes, vibration deep inside my very bones, almost like I'm becoming one with that brightest light that took me. Seconds slip away. What feels long might be short. What feels short might be something else entirely. Everything swells. Pressure, panic, presence, building. And then it simply stops. A clean severing. Perfect numbness. A body shut off. Somehow I can still move my eyes. A blessing? More likely a curse. I try desperately to look around, to find without what I've lost within. The world swims, blurs, tilts. Shapes loom at the edges of my vision. Silhouettes drift in and out of that fractured light leaking into my eyes. They hover and disappear. Faceless things. Quiet shadows pretending to be people. Out of reach, if only because I can't reach at all. I want to blink, to adjust my vision, to see something, anything. But nothing answers. Until even my eyes can't seem to move anymore. Exhausted, locked in place, staring up into something far crueler than the abyss. Nothing answers, except one small revolt of my body. A single tear sliding down my cheek. It is slow and warm, the starkest contrast to absolute numbness. A miracle of feeling, of sensation. The last part of me not yet claimed, not yet taken, not yet gone. Maybe the only piece of me that could really escape. Except it doesn't. Even that single tear is collected. If only I knew this was the kindest of what is to come. Because now, the process begins. I'm not simply being shut down. That too might be kinder. To let my mind, my heart, my soul leave this world and dissect whatever remains. No, I'm being reset. I feel it first as a pull inside my head. Not sharp, not painful, but precise. An extraction of data, of personhood, of memory. It begins and ends in the woods where I was taken. An anchor point to work from. Everything else comes and goes and flickers. Files, quarantined, assessed, deleted, sometimes several at once, layered and jumbled together. Images overlaid against unrelated recollections. Pieces I don't even recognize set against a backdrop of something greater, experienced, lived, loved. What remains, what lingers, I think, must be the more important parts. At first, I think it's me holding on, some inner strength, clinging to them, fighting back. A mind not ready to be taken, stolen, discarded like trash. But no, even that isn't mine. These important parts are the ones they hold the longest. Not out of mercy, but scrutiny, because they are most precious. The things I hid deepest, the people I loved most, the places that shaped me, the small truths I believed were untouchable, because until now, they were. These pieces are turned over, inspected, and pulled apart with unbearable patience, even care. They stretch and warp, distort, then come back into focus, as though someone or something is adjusting the lens of my own mind. I feel the hesitation, the long lingering, like they're searching for some code, some pattern, some key buried beneath. The true pain is that I'm searching too. If this is the end, it's my life flashing before my eyes. And then, of course, one by one, all those most precious things are released and erased. Silence follows, not around me, inside me. What's taken next is all that's left. Not what I remember, but what I am. Functions, nature and nurture alike. The little programs built over that lifetime they erased. Shortcuts I've used to make sense of the world. Instincts I've relied on to survive it. Reflexes and learned behaviors. All the invisible processes running quietly in the depths of my brain, maybe even deeper. How I steady my breath when I'm scared. How I laugh when I'm nervous or uncomfortable. The way I walk, talk, smile, even blink. They unravel one by one, pulled like threads back to the source, but not erased, reduced into something simpler, something earlier, a version of myself I don't even remember being, one I can only feel in the absence of all else, the quiet, the blur. It's like sinking into an abyss, drifting in some great hollow unknown. It's not painful, just final, at least for this version of myself. Who am I? A person, I think, but not tied to any being. So maybe then a husk, a shell of something that was, something that is still to come. Both. It's subtle at first, not all at once, but slow, deliberate, methodical. The way my jaw settles, the way my toes twitch, the way my hands curl around nothing, then stretch, the feeling up my legs, spreading through my chest, blooming behind my eyes. Pressure, warmth, balance, breath. Instincts threaded into the husk, a system coming online, a body learning how to exist before the mind learns why. Then, out of the perfect quiet of that blissfully empty mind, I start to see and hear and feel. It's blurry at first, memories out of focus, out of range, but not without meaning. I can smell them, taste them, feel the temperature inside them. It's terrifying and unknown. The way I'm loaded, stuffed, saturated with information that wasn't there, wasn't anywhere, even moments before. The way I'm congested with feeling and sensation, the way it all comes faster and faster, overlapping, twisting together hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions. Files uploaded, data inserted, floodgates thrown open, the waters filling me to the brim. Are they mine? These fragments? These lives? Even the way they settle inside me feels strange and unfamiliar, like they don't belong in this husk, a transplant of some kind. But if they weren't mine before, they certainly are now, as much as they can be. The pressure builds, too much, too fast, a rising tide with no shore to break on. When it becomes unbearable, I open my eyes. The light sears. My pupils explode, then shrink. Tears streak my face, almost painful against this unfamiliar skin. The room is sterile and endless. Silhouettes move around me like ghosts haunting the edges of my vision. I open my ears next. Too loud, too soft. Like a radio going in and out, finding the right signal. Settling in beeps and buzzes and tones. Distant chatter, unknown languages and dialects. Everything swelling into a clamor I can't separate or understand. Something I'm sure must be real, even if it is so unfamiliar. Then smell. Cold, sharp, metallic, like even the air itself is manufactured. I want to see, to hear, to smell. But this is all wrong. I want to speak too, to form a sound, a word, a question, but my breath catches. The thoughts dissolve, and the words die before they ever reach that synthetic air. Fast as it all may have come, everything is slowing now. My eyes flutter, my mind slips. Sleep is coming, or something close to it. A process, almost complete. I wasn't there, and then I was. A soft darkness, an easy breeze, Rich pine and damp earth. Crickets chatter. Owls hoot. Leaves whisper, trading secrets. My campsite. My fire pit. My pack by the log where I left it. All exactly as it should be. And yet, the air holds a faint metallic tang. Bright white flecks linger behind my eyes. The softest vibration tingles through my bones. I touch my chest, then my face, running my hands along every inch of my body. Was it all a dream? Or am I waking up as someone made to believe it was? Remade by those silhouettes. The quiet ones.
This has been Unlike Minded, a sci-fi audio anthology. Collection 4, Among Us. Stories about aliens, skinwalkers, and other invaders. The Quiet Ones was written by Robbie Hyne and narrated by Jesse Lambright. Unlike Minded is an August year-round production, created, produced, and edited by Robbie Hyne. Our intro and outro music is by Noah James, and our key art is by Brendan Haley. We'd like to give a special thank you to everyone who has supported this independent podcast production. You can keep up to date and find more info about this podcast and others on Instagram at the handle AugustYearRoundProd, by visiting our website, augustyearround.com, or by emailing us at augustyearround@gmail.com. And be sure to subscribe, leave a rating and review, and tune in next week for another episode of Unlike Minded, a sci-fi audio anthology.
The Fable and Folly Network, where fiction producers flourish.